Hello YouTube. This is Lachlan T 1984 from Melbourne, Australia, and I have here in front of me a rather interesting device. This is the VTech See-A-Sound Phonics. It's a toy electronic learning aid made in around, I think, 1994. It's designed to teach children about phonics and reading and the alphabet and letters. It looks like a typical laptop-styled electronic learning aid type toy. You can see it has a display screen and below it is a keyboard. But look at what's on the left hand side of the machine. A tape deck. This unit uses cassettes for its programming, and I find this very unique. It's the main reason why I wanted it. The cassettes contain activities that teach children about the alphabet and how basically get them started in reading. The unit comes with 4 cassettes and 2 workbooks. My unit came with the 4 cassettes that a normal package would come with, but I'm missing the workbook for cassette tapes 3 and 4. I'll demonstrate the unit to you. There are 3 modes of operation. You have phonics mode, some people might pronounce that. That's the mode that uses the phonics cassettes to teach children how to read. Game mode allows you to play 2 built-in letter-based games. The games are Follow Me, where the computer displays the sequences of letters and you have to type them in order, and there's also a card matching game, where the unit displays cards with letters on them and you have to match the letters. Then there's a music tape mode that allows you to play a standard music cassette, and I'll show you how to do that. The tape deck is a fairly standard configuration with the regular buttons: eject, play, rewind, fast forward and stop. There's a headphone socket on the right hand side here, so you can play your tapes over headphones, though you don't hear stereo sound. There's a built-in loudspeaker, and to the left of that is the volume control. When I received this unit, it worked perfectly for a couple of hours. Then I developed a strange problem. When you play the phonics cassettes, you are given the opportunity to complete tasks set out on the tape. And normally what should happen is the cassette should stop running to give you time to answer the questions. But a couple of hours after I got my unit, the cassette stopped stopping when I was playing it. My sister's boyfriend had a look at the unit. He couldn't actually find anything wrong, but when he reassembled the unit, it was working perfectly, and it still is to this day. I'm going to turn the unit on now, and I'm going to show you what the phonics tape is like. I won't play the whole tape, it's quite long, but I'll show you the introduction. The machine's in phonics mode at the moment. As you can see, there's the screen. I'm going to press the play button.
Welcome to VTech See-A-Sound Phonics. Are you ready to join me on a reading adventure? We'll start with our alphabet, and before you know it, you'll be reading a short story all by yourself. Follow my directions carefully and take your time learning your phonics so you can learn to read. Keep your workbook next to you, so when I say, "Workbook time," you can play the fun workbook games. Watch your screen to see which activities to play and which question to answer. Are you ready to have some fun? Let's begin to see a sound. Before you can learn to read, you need to learn the alphabet. Maybe you have heard this song. This song will help you learn your alphabet. Watch the screen. As we sing the song, the letters will appear. Feel free to sing along with us. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Workbook time.
The machine is now loading in the first activity it wants you to complete. Here's the workbook. And this is what the first activity looks like. It basically is displaying a sequence of letters from the alphabet, and it wants you to enter the next letter. So the first one is called What's Next? And as you see, the first question is CD, and of course the answer is CDE. Now, what the machine didn't tell me is that by default, when you type in letters, it types in the lowercase letter. But this particular activity requires you to type the uppercase letter. So if I press the E key now, it says I'm wrong. That's because I actually need to type the uppercase letters in. I can either press Shift and then press the appropriate letter, or I can turn Caps Lock on. I'm going to turn Caps Lock on, and you'll see there's a light that's come on above the keyboard there. I'm going to turn Caps Lock on because it's just easier to play this game with Caps Lock. And you'll also hear the machine is beeping. It's reminding me that I have to answer a question. MN, and of course the correct answer is O. And you may hear the machine run the tape after each question. It's telling me my score for that game. Now it's going to load in the next activity. And this activity is called, where's the book? This is what comes first. And you'll see that it displays the question and then the answer. You don't really need the workbook for this first activity, but for the later activities you certainly do. Perhaps I ought to explain for anyone who is blind or vision impaired and who needs some additional description of what's happening here. The computer is giving me a series of 3 letters from the alphabet in order, and it's asking me what is the first letter in this series. So at the moment it says -MN, and of course the letter that comes before M is L. And it's now saying -YZ. And the correct answer there, of course, is X. Oops. It's because I pressed the wrong key. Because I'm not looking at the keyboard. And this one is what's missing. So it shows you a series of letters and it says A-C. And of course the correct answer here is B. That's the letter that's missing. Oops. And again, you'll hear the machine running the tape each time it needs to get more information.
Did you know that every letter in the alphabet can appear 2 different ways? So far, you have seen all the letters as capitals. Capital letters can also be called uppercase letters. This is the way A looks as an uppercase letter. But sometimes A looks like this, A. Now it is a lowercase letter. It is important for you to know both uppercase and lowercase letters. Let me show you the uppercase and the lowercase letters of the alphabet together. As I show them to you, be sure to type that letter on your keyboard. The letters on your keyboard are uppercase letters, but as you type each letter, the computer will type it as a lowercase letter, A.
So now it obviously wants me to type in that letter. And I need to turn caps lock off because, as you heard it say, the computer will type the letter I'm typing as a lowercase letter. It doesn't tell you that you need to make sure caps lock is off.
B.
I won't show you too many more of these. This is actually pretty boring. But obviously this tape is designed. This tape was aimed for children at between ages 4 to 7. This first side of the tape is pretty boring, and now the machine's making funny crackling noises. I think it's picking up interference from my phone.
C. D. E. F.
Okay, I think you get the idea of what this tape does. I won't show you too much more of that because it's going to get a bit boring. If you play these cassettes in a regular cassette player, you'll hear the data track through the left audio channel and the audio instructional content through the right channel. And if you play the tape in a regular tape deck, this is what the data track sounds like.
G, H, I, J,
I'll now show you what a regular cassette sounds like in this machine. So yes, you can use this as a standard cassette player. It only plays tapes, it doesn't record. This is a cassette that has some very old Australian poems on it. The tape is called The Animals Noah Forgot. These are all poems written by a famous Australian poet called Banjo Patterson. I think this cassette may have originally belonged to my sister. I think we've had this tape since we were quite young. I don't even know when we got it. I'm going to say maybe late 80s or early 90s. I think I first came across this tape when I was about 7, but I'll play it very briefly for you. There's no music on this tape, it's just narration.
The big white English swan escaped from captivity, found himself swimming in an Australian waterhole fringed with giant gum trees. In one of the lower forks of a gum tree sat a placid, round-eyed elderly gentleman, apparently thinking of nothing whatever. In other words, a native bear. "Excuse me, sir," said the swan. "Can you tell me where I am?" "Why, you're here," said the bear. "I know I'm here," said the swan, thinking that his new acquaintance was dull-witted. "But where is here? You see, I'm an English swan." "Excuse me," said the bear. "Swans are black. I've seen thousands of them." "They're black in this country," said the swan, "just the same as the aboriginals are black. But they are white in England, just the same as the people there are white. I don't like mentioning it, but our family are very highly regarded in England, one of the oldest families. We came to England from Cyprus with Richard Coeur de Lion." "I'm a bit in that line myself," said the bear. "Did you ever hear of the flood, when Noah took the animals in the ark?" "Well, my people wouldn't go in the ark. They didn't see any chance of getting fresh gum leaves every day, and they heard that this chap Noah was not too reliable." "A capable chap? Well, he must have been a capable chap to organise them."
Okay, you get the idea. You can use it to play regular tapes. That character moving on the screen there just moves in the same patterns. It doesn't detect sound. The character on the screen, that doesn't respond to sound. And also I realised that perhaps this may not have been the best tape to pick. Yeah, I hope that didn't cause any upset to anyone, the remarks that the English swan was making to the bear there. If you play a regular music cassette in phonics mode, this is what will happen.
But inclined to drink. So our people climbed trees and lived on gum leaves till the water went down. They say the flood wasn't as high here as it was in other places. But I've never seen a flood yet but what somebody would tell you.
No, you see, it's displaying an error message telling me to change the tape.
Have you any friends here? I'm afraid not.
The day I first received this unit, I had an absolute blast playing my favourite James Rain cassette in it. James Rain is a well-known Australian rock singer from... Really, he was most famous throughout the 80s. He was with a band called Australian Crawl, and then from 1987 onwards he released solo material. I have his first solo album on tape, and I got that tape when I was maybe 5 or 6. I'll just rewind this Banjo Patterson cassette. The tape deck on this thing performs relatively well, but it is very cheaply designed, and I suspect very cheaply made as well. Oh dear, what's happened? Oh, I see. The tape deck on this thing is very cheaply designed and cheaply made. One thing I've noticed about the tape deck is that if it's in any mode other than rewind, the take-up spindle is always engaged with the motor. And that if there's no tape in there, the take-up spindle will always rotate at the same speed whether the tape deck is in fast forward or rewind mode. Fast forward or play mode, excuse me. And even if you very lightly depress the buttons, if you just very lightly depress the buttons enough for the electrical contacts to mate, the take-up spindle will always rotate, even if you lightly depress the rewind button. Of course, once you depress the rewind button fully, the tape deck goes into rewind mode. I'll show you now the built-in games. This first one is called Follow Me. And it's selected level 1. Okay, it's telling me to type in a letter U. To select a level in these games, you need to press 1, 2, or 3 very quickly when it displays the level select screen you just saw. You can see what it's doing here. It's trying to teach you the order of the alphabet. U, V, and W. U, V, W, X, and Y. If I had selected a higher difficulty level, it would have given me more letters. I'll show you card match. So in this game, you have to match the letters. You see that there are no letters on the screen, so you need to select a card with the arrow keys and then press enter to turn the card. And that card has the letter J on it. What's under this card? That's not a match, that was an H. That middle card there has a J, so we now move over to the rightmost card and press enter. And we have a match. Let's see what's under this one. That's an I. Let's take a chance and see what's under this one. Aha! We now know where the second H is, so we select the first H again, move down to the second one, and now we know that the letters that are under both the unturned cards are the letter I. And I win. Right, you get the idea. That's basically all I can really demonstrate on this product. I first learned about this earlier this year when I saw a video on YouTube, a short, from somebody who mainly uploads videos about circuit bending. And they briefly showed this toy. They did not appear to have any of the special phonics tapes that it comes with, so they didn't demonstrate those. They had it playing some tape that was sounded like some sort of tutorial on how to computerize a business. My guess is the tape was recorded back in the 80s. When I saw the video, I became very interested in this product and decided to try and get one for myself. And I was able to do that. I bought this unit on eBay. I've only seen very few of these units on eBay, so I don't know how many of these units VTech made. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I'd be curious to know if any of you have ever used this before or have had experiences with one. As I say, the main thing that got me attracted to this was the fact that it used cassette tapes for its programs. Anyway, thank you for watching. Enjoy and have a great day. Bye for now.